Obviously, the receiver instincts kicked in, and so I had to go and make a play.
How pleasing is this win, and who are you looking forward to talking with about it and celebrating with?
Oh, my family. My daughter's in town. This win is huge for us, pretty much get the ball rolling, and we did just that. And so for us to be able to go home with a win, a victory, and be able to come back Wednesday and be able to compete and play the New York Jets, prepare ourselves for them, it's huge, and it's big time going forward.
How big was it in the room this week, coming off the Saints loss? You have such a big day. Chris has such a big day. DJ gets involved, does a great job. How pleasing was this as a whole?
It's big. As a group, as a wide receiver group, we can only control what we can control. And so with that being said, we just got to pretty much go out there and do our job each and every week, each and every down, play in and play out.
What was it like? The field position wasn't great, but you guys were able to at least flip the field, if not get some points on the board. How important was that?
It's huge. Leonard had a great game, on the ground. Offensive line blocked tremendously, obviously, for him to get those yards and be able to step back from Minshew and complete passes. It was big. And so for us, we just pretty much keyed in on that possession and that down and executed.
The defense has been waiting for those takeaways. They get 4 in the second half. How cool is that to watch from the sidelines as the defense started making all those big plays?
Oh, it's dope. The excitement. It was both there, both offensively and defensively. But for those guys to go out there and create those takeaways and give us great field position to start, it's huge. It's big time. And I don't think you can beat a team that's getting great field position like that.
Didi, thanks so much. Congratulations.
That might be one of the best catches in terms of reacting to a ball that we've seen this year, because he looked like a free safety. I mean, when the ball left Minshew's hand from our vantage point and you could see where it was tracking, I mean, it looked like he was throwing to a wide open receiver. The only problem is the guy was dressed in a Bengals uniform. And here all of a sudden comes, Westbrook sideline to sideline and just makes it an incredible catch. The receivers as a whole yesterday I thought were outstanding.
That's why I love you going in the locker room right after a game. You get to hear Dede Westbrook break down exactly what happens. I had 2 guys on me. That ball's not supposed to come to me. I turn around and holy bleep, there's the ball coming my way. That's the kind of stuff that I love. Look, Gardner Minshew yesterday, I thought, again, had a little bit of happy feet. There are times that he's holding the ball too long, and there are other times where I feel like he's rushing himself. So he just needs to calm down a little bit because he's got some really good wide receivers.
I was with Doug after the media gathering on Friday, and we were walking back, and I said, "You can play Dede?" He had just told the media gathering, "I think there's a pretty good chance he's going to play." And I asked him, "So you seem confident?" He said, he came up to me, he says, "I'm not going to hold me out of the game. Doctors, trainers, you can ask all. I'm playing." And Doug said he lit up. He said, "That's the kind of kid Dede Westbrook told him, you're not keeping me out of this game." Because his shoulder was legitimately hurt now. He really banged up that shoulder to where he couldn't practice midweek. And shoulder injury in football is a pretty good injury now.
Especially for a receiver.
Yeah, but he pretty much said, "You're not keeping me out of this game." And that's what he told his coach. And after all the other stuff, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
And again, my conversation with Doug, we didn't link that, but I'm just telling you, I could see the look on his face. He said, "Frank, he is a tough kid now. That is one. He did everything. He returned punts. He was targeted a bunch. It wasn't like he was just out there trying to gut it. He played."
I think Dede saw the Bengals injury report on Friday and said,
"This is what I'm playing at.
I'm getting some yards on Sunday."
All right, his partner in crime is DJ Chark, who also has had an awfully good start to the year. Hayes caught up with DJ after the game as well.
Hayes Carline in the Jaguars locker room, brought to you by CareSpot, urgent care made easy.
DJ, congrats on the win. They got you involved in a couple different ways today. What was it like on the 20-yard run?
Pretty cool, came back across the DN, got up the field real fast, but felt like kind of like in college, I had a lot of jet sweeps, so I knew I could cut it up and get back outside.
That was a nifty play design. How long have you guys had that, and is that specifically for you?
This week it was for me. Coach Flip have a lot of different ways to get guys the ball. So we designed that one this week. But, he has so many ways to do things like that.
How was your sideline awareness really improved? That 33-yarder where you were able to tiptoe down, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I knew they was in cover 2. Whole shot, I kind of set in there, caught it. I saw the safety coming down where it was inverted, so with the corner coming down, get out, make a miss. And I figured somebody was coming from the inside, so I was trying to stay in as long as I could.
What did you learn from last week to apply to this week? And really all of you guys is a receiver room, because Dede had a great day, you had a great day, Chris had a great day, everybody really did.
just keep going. Whatever coach called, run those routes to perfection and get open, catch the ball. Coach put us in a pretty good position, and it was good to see everybody, get into it, show teams that, you can't really just take away one weapon because we have a lot of them.
How much does it help when Leonard's getting going on the ground like that?
Oh, it makes our job way easier. Makes the game way easier for us. And I'm pretty sure it's the same when, the receivers are clicking. So when we are clicking, it feels way easier.
DJ, as far as looking at coming in here, getting a win, what was it like celebrating?
Oh, it's good. Just a good atmosphere in here. Everybody happy. We're about to get on the plane, go home, enjoy some time with our families, and get back to work, Wednesday.
DJ, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
DJ Chark is on pace, which means nothing.
Yeah.
But he's on pace.
But it's fun saying on pace.
Yeah.
On pace is a great thing. It's a great phrase. It's a great sports phrase.
1,328 receiving yards this year. It is unbelievable the jump he has made. This is Joakim Noah in his second year at Florida. This may be the best second-year jump in any sports team that we cover in Northeast Florida.
If DJ Chark had gotten to play in this LSU offense with Joe Burrow slinging the ball the way that he is, he would have been a top 10 pick.
You're right.
Glad he wasn't.
Yeah.
Glad he's here
available
instead.
for the Jags in the second round.
One other guy, we're going to hear from some others later on in the program on the defensive side, as well as Brandon Leonard. But I want you to hear from Calais Campbell. He had to feel good about this win, didn't he? He's such an upbeat guy. You see him in the elevator, you see him in the field. He's just always positive, smiling, upbeat. But Calais is a guy that deserves a win or two. Here's a quick interview with Calais after the game.
Hayes Carline in the Jaguars locker room, brought to you by CareSpot, urgent care made easy. What was the key today, getting all the takeaways?
Playing hard, swarming to the ball, getting pressure on Andy Dalton. But really, I think it's just guys, we've been putting our work into it. We've been practicing it. And today was just, you reaping what we sow.
You guys were able to hold Mixon in check. What were you able to do to stop the run?
Just have great gap integrity and then swarm tackle. He broke a lot of tackles. He's a tough back, but we just kept coming, swarm tackling, and it worked for us.
How big was this one to get to 3 and 4?
It's huge, for where we want to go. This is a must-win. So, it's always hard to go into somebody's building and get a win. So anytime you can get a W, on the road is crucial, and so, I'm happy, but at the same time, it's 24-hour rule, and, try to go get one next week.
Calais, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
They had the Cincinnati running backs. It was mostly Joe Mixon. Bernard got a couple carries, but if you take away Andy Dalton and you take away Alex Erickson, just if you look at the Cincinnati running backs, 14 carries for 2 yards. That's about as good as you can do it. So excellent step forward. We've talked about it. The Bengals are atrocious running the ball, but they made them look even worse than they have looked, which is a good sign.
Good win for the Jags. More Jags talk coming up throughout the course of the program. We'll get to the Gators, though. Big win for Florida on the road after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, folks, Chick-fil-A is here with a little inspiration for your next dinner. A 30-count tray of nuggets with a side of mac and cheese, which is surely going to please the hungry people you'd like to feed. Now, look, everyone will love getting those tasty golden nuggets for dinner. And the mac and cheese with its crispy brown topping, that can be your surprise side. When you order on the Chick-fil-A app, you'll even earn rewards toward future chicken. That is inspirational. Get your dinner today and get it from Chick-fil-A.
The class of 2020 is making history. Congratulations to Sandalwood's Jeff Sims, First Coast Tyree Saunders, and Sandalwood's Jaiwan Herndon, committed to Florida State, Virginia Tech, and Ole Miss. Follow them this fall under the Friday Night Lights on 1010XL.
It's not the boogeyman, it's the Wiggle Man delivering scary good deals on new and used cars at Garber Auto Mall in Green Cove Springs. No tricks, only treats on 8 all-American brands in one location. We've got ghostly deals on all General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. We'll beat anyone's trade, anyone's. You don't need to worry, this is our treat to you. We'll beat everyone and get you the deal you want. Visit GarberAutomall.com and see these wicked new and used car prices on our 8 all-American brands.
Tired of pounding nails or working at your current job? American Window Products is looking for talent in their installation department. They know their greatest asset is the people they hire. You can get competitive pay and full benefits. They supply uniforms and all the tools you need. Their installers stay forever. Apply now in person at American Window Products, 2633 Powers Avenue, or call 731-2247.
American Windows, the window professionals.
If you want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Fast, friendly service, clean family restaurants, and the best barbecue around. That, folks, is Bono's. 15 locations in town. No matter where you are, you're close to a Bono's, and you're going to love it. Oh, and when you go to the stadium for the next time, you also can get Bono's throughout the stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, if you want great barbecue, you want the best barbecue in town. That choice for you should be easy. You want great barbecue, you want Bono's.
Hey Googans, I'm Lance, former Navy SEAL with 180 Products. When my baby girl had skin issues that couldn't be solved with mainstream products, I created one of my own. I continued researching and experimenting and was able to create amazing products to help ease other symptoms our family experienced. Now I am happy to share those products with you. We make our products right here in Jacksonville with all natural organic ingredients. Visit 180products.com today and see how we can help you. That's 180products.com.
If you're an experienced welder or pipe fitter, Local 234 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters is looking for you now. They provide competitive pay and great benefits that are no cost to you. That's $29.84 an hour, and with those benefits, you'll be earning $44 an hour. Join an organization with thousands of members that have the same goal as you, to get the job done right. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Stay close to the Seminoles with the Florida State Seminole Report.
I'm Lauren Rue, and I'll deliver the weekly news and notes you need to know.
Brought to you by Performance Painting, quality coatings applied with pride on 1010XL.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Now, the special teams player of the game.
We beat special!
Brought to you by the urological specialists of McKeever Clinic.
Get Josh Lambo an asbestos suit because the fifth-year kicker is on fire this season. Lambo remains perfect on field goals for Jacksonville. He'd go 4 for 4 on Sunday in that category and would also knock in an extra point. The 28-year-old Lambo is having a season for the ages for the Teal and Black, and he's your McKeever Clinic special teams player of the game.
If the moments of sexual intimacy with your partner are memories of the past, take note. ED isn't an inevitable part of aging. The urologists of the McKeever Clinic can get you back to feeling like your normal self again. Generic forms of Viagra and Cialis are now available directly at McKeever. Your McKeever doctor will decide if this alternative is right for you, and you can go home the same day with the prescription. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921.
There's a chance your local Geico agent owns the same designer dog breed as you.
Wait, you own a Chihuahua too?
Half bulldog, half chihuahua, 100% lovable. Oh yeah.
So many wrinkles, such a tiny face.
But there's a better chance your local Geico agent could help you out with auto, homeowners, renters, or condo insurance. Motorcycle, boat, or RV insurance too. They'll work hard to provide sound advice and significant savings. You don't need a chic, wrinkle-faced pup to do that. Local Geico agents. Call or visit yours today.
An interesting creature inhabits the flat, arid plains of many an automobile dashboard, the bobblehead. It's most agreeable and will nod along to anything, despite having no brain function. But when the bobblehead hears how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access to licensed agents 24/7 online and over the phone, he'll nod even more vigorously because he knows you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Easy, bobblehead, easy. You're going to get whiplash.
2020 is right around the corner, but at Claude Nolan Cadillac, the 2020 models have arrived, and you're invited to our Roaring Into the 20s celebration. Join us Saturday, November 9th from 10 until 3 and see the entire lineup of 2020 models, plus get an exclusive sneak peek at the brand new CT5. Food, raffles, and test drives, we hope you'll join us. Claude Nolan on Southside Boulevard or visit ClaudeNolanCadillac.com for more details. Beginning lasting relationships since 1905.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
I think really for the first 3 quarters of the game, they dominated field position, which is playing to win. I mean, they kept us pinned deep, made us have to go the length of the field. They'd bend and then we'd punt, and they won the field position game and did what they needed to. And fourth quarter, I think we were able to flip that. We were able to, create a turnover, create some positive drives, finish drives in the red zone, and a really good finish to the game by our guys.
That was Dan Mullen right after Florida defeated South Carolina 38-27. From the Florida perspective, how many different guys could you give a game ball to, Frank?
Boy, a lot of them. I will tell you, that's a great win. But big picture for me, he's won 17 games as the Florida coach. 6 of those they trailed in the fourth quarter. It's not an accident anymore. There is a will to win. I'll say this about Florida's football team. I was thinking about this today. Realistically, LSU is probably better than Florida at virtually every position. They're not as deep at receiver, but I would probably put their first 2 against Florida's first 2. That running back's better than any of the Florida running backs. Their offensive line is better. Trask is not as good as Burrow. If you look at the secondary, close. They're probably better at just about everything. The linebackers are better. Certainly with Zuniga and Grenard out, their line is better. They're probably better in Florida just about every position. Just my opinion. They also had them there at night a week ago, and Florida was still right in that thing. You know what Florida is? Florida's a team that if a bar fight breaks out, they're the guy you don't want to fight. Even if you're like the badass who could beat up everybody, including Florida, you can beat them up, but they're the one you don't want to fight because they don't know when to stop, and that's who they are. They're going to keep swinging, even though they probably need to stop. You're going to have to knock their ass out, and that's kind of who Florida is. I still maintain they're not an overly talented team. I just saw that the line's going to come out. They're going to be a 7.5-point underdog to Georgia. Did you see that? I saw that today.
That's high.
As of today, it'd be 7.5 points. Because people look at the roster, they look at those 4s and 5s, but you know what? They're a hard team to knock out, man. They fight and fight. They believe they're going to win that fourth quarter. One reason you win the fourth quarter is because you believe it. And here's the thing about Trask. You know what makes Trask so good? Nothing's tragic to him. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
We're in an age where not getting to start when you're 6'5" and 240 and you've put in all this time means you got to go leave. You got to leave Manville High because the other guy's playing. You got to leave the University of Florida because the other guy's playing because it's tragic. It's tragic that I'm not getting to play. Well, nothing's tragic for him. He never felt being behind De'Aaron King in high school or being behind Felipe Franks in college was tragic. He felt like, you know what? I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to overreact. It's not tragic. And
there had to be times, by the way, backing up Felipe, that he thought, I am better than that guy. There had to be times.
But it wasn't tragic enough to leave.
No.
And the point is, it's not tragic. So getting behind or having a wet ball you're having trouble throwing, it's not tragic to him. And because life isn't tragic for him, he's calm. He's calm in every setting, no matter what happens. That's what's kind of cool about him. And man, has that served him well. The fact that all this stuff isn't tragic has really served him well. And you see that in these fourth quarters. You saw it against Kentucky. You saw it this game. He manages the fact that the world isn't coming to, no matter what happens, the world isn't coming to an end. I vision this guy. Now, maybe now he's going to get a crack at the NFL because he's big and strong and accurate. I still think his arm's good arm, not great arm. He's more Ryan Finley than he is these rifle arm guys. But I don't think he's thinking, oh, my God, if I don't make it to the NFL, the world comes to an end. I think he thinks I'll probably go be an accountant and I'll go be a lawyer. I'll go be this or that and I'll be happy and I'll move back to Texas and life will be good, right? It's not tragic. and I think that's really served him well.
I think it has too. I think that's a great call and very good analysis of Kyle Trask and his mental approach to the game. And I think you are seeing dividends of that. I mean, this strikes me as being a real feather in the cap of Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask has 14 touchdown passes. That's 5 more than Jake Fromm. I mean, and this is a guy that wasn't starting right away. So he is hitting explosive plays consistently, and he is doing it late in games, or certainly did on Saturday, throwing 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter alone. He does have a calming presence about him, and I think the team feeds off of that. And again, Florida, for all their, the recruiting limitations that we've talked about, or the recruiting deficiencies, for all of that, I don't know that they could be any deeper at receiver. I mean, now that you've got Jacob Copeland deciding that he's going to become a star and go make brilliant touchdown runs and catches and have 90 yards, and Mullen was asked, about him after the game, and he's like, well, he's always made the plays. It's just been the discipline to run the right routes and not go the wrong way. And it's like, hey, coach, you see the play I made? It's yeah, but I also saw you go the wrong way on this other one, and that's what we can't have. And he said Copeland is really starting to grasp that down in and down out consistency on what your assignment is. So now it just adds to everything Florida can throw at you. And they are a hard team to defend because even though P. Ryan isn't a star at running back, he is capable, and Pierce is capable. And I even think Malik Davis is going to have a moment in this last little stretch of the year where he's going to shine. So Florida has enough in the run game that you have to at least respect it. And when he drops back to throw, I mean, it is an embarrassment of riches right now with what Florida can throw at you. I mean, and the play in terms of the poise is, I think, Frank, the poise you're talking about, on a very macro level, it also was very micro on the 4th and 3, where it's not there right away. And he rolls out and buys the time and then delivers a nice ball to Kyle Pitts, makes a nice catch. They go on to score a touchdown. So it's his calmness, but it's also this just embarrassment. I mean, we knew going into the season Florida would have a pretty good receiving core, but I never dreamed Kyle Pitts would become Kellen Winslow, and I never dreamed that Jacob Copeland all of a sudden would, start having this surge in the second half because he looked like a guy that was going to have to fight for snaps. But they are going to give any team they play a lot of trouble. And I'm not saying I'm not going to pick Florida, Georgia until the Friday before the game, but Georgia will have their hands full. Georgia's not going to win that game by scoring 17 points. I mean, the winner of the Florida-Georgia game is going to be in the 30s. I can guarantee you that right now.
And I do think during that game, Trask had looked for Van Jefferson and looked for Grimes, and they just weren't sinking. And so he found other targets. And now Florida adds, I think it's now the 8th guy that has over 150 yards this season receiving. They haven't done that in forever.
92, I think I read.
Yeah, since 1992, yeah. So the other thing about Kyle Trask, to your point, Frank, about being able to kind of live life's roller coaster in a calm fashion, since 2012, only Tyler Murphy at Florida is the only quarterback at one of the state's big 3 programs to wait until his redshirt junior year to make his first start. Because everybody else said, see ya, I want to be a starter somewhere else.
And back in the day, FSU made a living out of guys waiting their turn. Charlie Ward waited his turn. Casey Weldon waited his turn. They all waited their turn. Well, the world has changed. So I think his calmness in that regard is why he's so good. Look, I'm not going to doubt Florida anymore. I still think their personnel, they are limited from a personnel standpoint. But I'll say, I told Hicken this on the podcast today. You can hear it on 1010XL. He and I do a podcast about the Gators every week. I think there's this elite group. I still think, in whatever order you have them in, Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma have elite talent. I had Georgia in that group. I'll put LSU up there with them, okay? And I had Georgia. I think Georgia may not – I've watched Georgia enough now to know that they're good, maybe not great. Georgia still has a very good team, don't get me wrong. But maybe not Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma good. Maybe LSU is, and maybe LSU moves into that group and Georgia falls out of that group. So that 5 are probably, from a personnel standpoint, are by themselves. Other than that next group up, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Florida's right in that group. They belong in that group, whether it's because of personnel, whether it's because of how tough they are, how good he is, how good Nick Savage is, and they're always good in the fourth quarter. Whatever the ingredients are, they're right in that group, and they've earned that now. They've earned the fact that they're going to be hard to beat when you're going to have to beat them. Again, you're going to have to cut the head off the snake with them, man, because they are just a hard team to knock out. That's who they are.
Mullen continues to make all the right calls. I think that's what's so impressive. And I think it goes even down to special teams. Look, we see this happen with a team like Florida State, where everything seems to go wrong in the moments that matter the most. For Florida, even though it's pouring down rain, they're lining up for a field goal and everything goes right.
Here's the other thing about the everything goes right for Mullen. Even when he makes the wrong call, like the fake punt against Auburn, he turns around and makes the right call, and it makes up for the wrong call. That's what the great ones do. They get some wrong, but they immediately fix it by getting a better one right. That's what they do. So I'm impressed, man.
Grantham's so good too.
Yeah, and he's really playing handicap, because with Grenard and Zuniga out, and with Henderson not playing at the same level, he's not the same guy. He's a good player, but he's not. You could not throw on him last year. Now, I mean, I thought the ball Edwards caught to start the game, you got to knock that away. Edwards is a really good player.
And it was good coverage, but I agree. If you're going to be elite,
good coverage doesn't matter if he catches it.
Yeah.
When you're there, you've got to defend that. And so with Henderson not quite at the same level, with Zuniga and Grenard out, man, he's just got some guys back there, and he still continues to win with those guys. So, no, I agree with that. Here's the other thing, too. They're the only team in the FBS of the 130 or whatever there are, I think, with 3 75-yard touchdown runs or more. Did you see that stat? Mm-hmm. They're the only team. Well, so what do you glean from that? Maybe there's something to it. Tells me a few things. Number one, people are crowding the line on them, because if you break a crowded line, you're gone. Number two, it tells you that maybe those backs and backs and receivers are faster than you think, because Pierce looked like he was shot out of a cannon now. Both Pierce and P. Ryan, and then Hammond on the long jet sweep. When those guys got to the second level, forget about it. So maybe there's more explosiveness than you realize. Nobody else has done it 3 times. I mean, Ohio State hasn't done it 3 times. Now, maybe other teams don't need to do it because they're marching down the field, right? The great teams. So interesting stuff. But I was impressed, man. This was a hard win to come. This would have been an easy game to lose with everything going against you. Noon game. You're playing a team that's regained its confidence. It's wet. The other team's excited. You get off to the bad start. Yes, and I don't want to be such homer guy that I don't mention the bad calls. There were bad calls early on. Someone against Florida. At the end of the game, here's my take on the calls. The false start, you got to call that. Shame on the linesman for missing the false start. You can't miss that.
But they miss stuff all day.
Yeah, right. But the false start, you should get. The linesman should not miss the false. That's all you're watching. The linesman that's all you're watching. So South Carolina's got every right to be upset about not getting Gene Delance's fault, because it was a clear false start. I saw it watching it live. I was waiting for the whistle to blow, and it never blew. So I think you got to get that one. As for the would-be holding on the play, I don't think it was holding. I don't think so. I think
on Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland's running parallel with the guy. Yeah, they've got each other's shirts or whatnot, but the guy if the guy had ever gotten leverage on him, had ever gotten his back ahead of him, then Cleveland would have either needed to hold on, which is a hold, or let him go. But I never thought he got leverage on him. And I didn't hear this. A bunch of people said Matt Austin said the same thing, the official in the booth. But I'm not saying it because I'm told he said it. I never thought it was holding. You got to be able to block. You're allowed to keep blocking. And again, once the guy gets ahead of you and gets leverage on you, you can't hold him. You got to let him go. But he never did. Did you notice that? I thought he was parallel with him the whole time.
Matt Austin said the DB never tried to pull away, and that's why he would not have called holding.
Okay, well that's a good point. But if he'd have taken a step closer to Pierce, to where he now is in front of Cleveland, then he's got leverage. Then if Cleveland keeps holding on, then it's holding. But he never did. He never got. So I never thought that happened. So for me the pick play was the pick play. The pick play, and you know what? They called that about half the time. About half the time they call it. And they didn't call it. Gibby, I think, is tracked down. We tried to track down what Will Muschamp thought about that. We can get Will on the phone. And here's Will Muschamp's thoughts about those plays.
Do you know why you got the unsportsmanlike?
No, I don't. The guy ran 40 yards away and dropped a flag. I have no idea.
What is your...
I'd rather him drop it on my feet.
Did you say anything?
Yeah.
No, prior to the flag?
Yeah.
Something that you think warranted an unsportsmanlike?
It's not my judge. Drop it on my feet next time.
So clearly you were unhappy about the totality
I'm
of
not
the
going
officiating.
to comment about anything else. Don't go 40 yards away and drop a flag. How about that? Gutless.
Look,
that was the best part of the sound.
Gutless.
The gutless at the end was the best part.
I get it. He had every right to be mad at times. But as a head coach, you have to understand that you can only go to a certain line when you're screaming at the officials. And once you go past that line, then you're not going to change the call. So you may as well stop your screaming. Look, Dan Mullen had a completely different reaction we saw in the first half when he was upset with the officials. He said a few things, and then he just kind of started laughing, he and some other coaches. You have to know how to handle it. And I still don't think Will Muschamp's ever going to learn how to handle it.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to get to FSU football. Tough loss for the Noles. Where's Florida State headed? That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlion from MyBookie.ag. Football season is at its peak. You know these teams, and now you're ready to cash in. That means it's time to bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has more odds and more prop bets than any other sportsbook. It's simple. Nobody pays out faster. You get your cash when you want your cash. MyBookie has the Patriots as a 10-point favorite at the Jets on Monday Night Football. In college football, Auburn is getting 12 points at LSU on Saturday, while the Canes are a 5-point underdog at Pitt. Sign up now, and MyBookie will double your first deposit up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 in free money. Use promo code RADIO to get your double your money offer today. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code RADIO. Once again, use promo code RADIO to get that deal. You play, you win, you get paid at MyBookie.ag.
From the locker room to the sideline.
All day, let's go.
No one knows the Jaguars like Johnny O. Oh, yeah. Hear Jaguars.com's John Osher on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Florida Pump Service. We make water happen on 1010XL.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Jeep Adventure Days.
Like a little more adventure in your life? How's 20% more sound?
Save up to 20% off the new Jeep of your choice at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Get a new Cherokee and save up to 20% off MSRP. Drive it home today from only $229 a month. Compass and Grand Cherokee. Save up to 20%. Come on in. Deals like these won't last forever. Put even more adventure in your life with a brand new 2020 Gladiator. Choose from our great selection and drive it today from just $369 a month. Save up to $6,000 on the new Renegade. Drive a new Wrangler from $239 a month. Save up to 20% on new Ram trucks.
See our inventory at JAXCJDR.com.
Today is a great day to get a great deal on the car, truck, or SUV of your choice from Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, I-295, and Bay Meadows.
For the best price and service when it comes to your waste hauling and collecting, look no further than the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Jet Prosser here, and let me tell you, you're not going to find an easier way to handle your project cleanups than calling in the A-Team at All-American. A J.B. Coxwell company, All-American Roll-Off and Recycling has brand new trucks and cans in all sizes to fit your project needs. No hidden fees. Count on the best price in town. When it comes to cleaning up when the job is done, go with the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Visit us at all-americanrolloff.com.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer Gainswave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. Gainswave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the Gainswave ED treatment today.
Post-Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of the world-famous Classic Cuban. Everybody loves a classic.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Frank Frangie here for Central State Bank, Florida's business bank. but also a bank you could trust. You see, that's the big thing. I've got to trust my banker. Trust that they are truly skilled bankers, but also that my needs matter. My bankers at Center State Bank know me. They know what I need. Whether it's personal, business, loans, or beyond, they know me and I trust them. In the world of banking, that relationship really matters. A bank you can trust. Center State Bank, with 7 locations in Jacksonville and St. Augustine, Florida's business bank.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Garber Auto Mall. The Jaguars had a season-high 4 takeaways on Sunday against the Bengals. One of those, an interception by safety Ronnie Harrison off of Andy Dalton. Harrison joined Arhay's Carline in the Jaguars locker room and talked about the play on his interception.
Really just was playing zone, and just had zone eyes on the quarterback, just reading off of him. And I guess he thought he had something with his receiver, but the ball came straight to me. Like, he threw it straight to me. I didn't have to move or anything, for real. Just had to catch it.
Ronnie Harrison with Arhay's Carline in the Jaguars locker room. Quarterback Nick Foles will practice this week for the Jaguars for the first time since breaking his collarbone in Week 1. Doug Marrone said today the team will gradually bring Foles back. At 4:01, 78 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
This one hurts. I thought our football team played better in certain areas. But again, turnovers and penalties hurt us, especially in critical situation. And we didn't find a way to win this ball game. I thought our guys did some good things throughout the game, but like I said, that one hurt big time.
So FSU loses. You're in that slot. You're in that time in the history of your program when the field goal is going to be no good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And every team's gone through it. Florida's gone through it. Georgia's gone through it. FSU's gone through it. Tennessee's gone through it. NFL teams go through it. When there's a time in your being as a college football program that he's going to make it, that he's going to hook it in, and you're going to beat Wake Forest for the 84th time in 85 games, right? But right now where Florida State's program is, and I don't know if that's just karma or bad luck or if it is real. If it is, you win so many games, you have so much trust in your coach to get wins you have so much trust that you're better than the other team, that somehow, some way, it's gonna. You know what I mean? We've all seen it. Unlucky coaches continue to be unlucky. Lucky coaches continue to be lucky. Right?
You have to be decisive as a coach, and I think that's where Willie Taggart really kind of messed up as kicker, because Aguayo, as we've seen, has missed a bunch of field goals this season, and instead of just letting him line up and kick that field goal, Taggart couldn't decide whether or not to go for it or kick the field goal, and so he ends up having to take the timeout. Well, now it's really in Aguayo's head. And so I think part of being a good coach and having things go lucky for your team is knowing exactly what to do.
Yeah, and that is Florida State's playing the wrong quarterback. They're playing the wrong guy. And James Blackman, whereas he's got a nice arm, beautiful throwing motion, can zip that thing, he's making bad choices. I'll say it again. Alex Hornibrook, we all kind of said this last week, gets the ball to those fantastic playmakers, keeps them involved, and he should play. I still think Florida State can win the rest of their games and, frankly, has a good chance to win the rest of their games, except the game at Florida. They're not going to win at Florida. I've seen enough now of Florida and FSU that barring a real surprising game, the way Florida's playing, the confidence with which they're playing at home, I'm guessing that Auburn, Alabama is a day game, which means that's probably a 7 o'clock or 7:30 game at night. The Swamp will be just stupid. It's going to be a hard game for Florida State to win that game. The other tough one is probably the at Boston College game. But what is Boston College? Are they a flop and a failure that couldn't get out of their own way against Louisville? Or are they the team that just rolled NC State on Saturday? I'm not sure who they are, Hayes. Because I'm not sure anybody knows who they are. But I don't think Florida State's season is dead, but they got to get going now.
They've got to get going now, and I think they can. I mean, look, eventually I've got to turn on Miami. I mean, I keep saying week in and week out, I think Miami's going to have this great second-half surge, and all they do is keep losing inexplicable games. So now I've got to assume Florida State is going to beat Miami in Tallahassee. Well, if that happens, I don't see Syracuse coming down and beating FSU. Syracuse is dealing with massive amounts of injuries. I heard the guys on XL Primetime talk about this. It's a great stat. They've yet to beat a Power 5 team. So Syracuse has done nothing to suggest that they're going to go on the road and beat FSU. So I think at Boston College, we'll probably, if I had to pick it today, I'd probably pick Boston College just because I think that's a tough situation to go up there in November 9th and what I'm assuming will be fairly difficult weather for Florida kids. And Boston College just tends to play them well. So that'll be a tough one. But it's certainly a winnable game. Alabama State, they should cruise past. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at a team that should be 7-4, feeling good about itself heading to Gainesville for a tough assignment. But, if they can get to 7-5, then, I think it wouldn't be the monumental improvement that you were hoping for coming off a 5-win first season for Willie Taggart, but it would at least give you some hope if you decide to retain him. Now, they may fire him anyway, but if you want to keep Willie Taggart, if that's what your hope is to not have to eat $17 million, I think if he gets you to 7 wins, then at least you can have the conversation about is it worth bringing him back for the third year.
I just don't think Florida State can play a complete football game, and that's why I thought Wake Forest would beat them. If the offense continues to struggle with Blackman, put in Hornibrook. Do something to make a change. Tamarian Terry, their best receiver, had a couple drops. That certainly doesn't help. Cam Akers did everything that he could, and I feel bad for that kid. I think he should be talked about as a Heisman candidate on any other football team that has a decent offensive line.
He is such a good player.
He's so good, and nobody obviously is going to be discussing him for that consideration in New York because the team is not good. And the defense finally, I thought, did a decent job, especially against an offense that was so high-powered the week before. But, again, if I'm Taggart, I replace Blackman with Hornibrook.
When that kid goes 13th overall to the Bills or whoever, they're going to talk about him because he is a good player, man. Cam Akers, first guy, never gets him on the ground. He makes people miss. I mean, he's Dalvin Cook good. And probably not as good, not quite as explosive as Dalvin, probably more physical than
Definitely
Dalvin.
More physical.
He's a good player, man. He is. And so we'll see.
Can't lose that fumble though.
No,
when you're driving and,
that's right.
and I mean that's one that you
I
can't
agree.
lose.
And that's his thing now. That's his thing. So this week, it's homecoming. Is anyone going?
I know Rick Ballou's going.
Yeah, Rick Ballou's going. That's awesome. The best. We're going to do, by the way, just doing about a 20-minute handoff tonight. Just having Ballou talk about FSU.
Yeah, it's going to be sparse.
I mean, again, I'll say it again. You want to get fired? I'll give you the best way to get fired. Chase your fans away. Boy, I don't know. I mean, you can't have homecoming and nobody at homecoming. It's homecoming. And I wonder.
It would be better served if it was Miami for homecoming, not Syracuse.
Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, how many are going to be there? I mean, we tipped our cap to them because nobody went to the Louisville game. They won.
Louisville was what, 42?
Mm-hmm.
They announced 42, yeah. Which was the lowest since the 80s.
Right.
And then
it'll be worse than that.
Well, but the NC State, they had that nice crowd. 1 week later, it was a night game. It looked like a really good crowd, all things. And they blew them out, and it looked like and then they went to Clemson and played lousy. And then, so we'll see. Look, if you can't, they're in a tough spot because it seems obvious he's not the guy. It seems pretty, and I hate saying that a guy a year and a half in, but it seems, I don't want to ignore the obvious either. Look, he's probably not the guy. This doesn't mean Willie Taggart's not a good football coach, not a good man, not going to have a career in coaching. But this is Florida State University. It's one of the elite football programs of the last 30 years. It doesn't look like this is the right guy to lead an elite football program.
Could you ever see this man going 11-1?
No, I can't see.
I can't.
I can't.
At all see it. I think you could hand him the All-Pro team, and he wouldn't be able to go 11-1 in the ACC.
I always said Zook and Muschamp, better at another time in another place, could really win. Whether it was at Florida or wherever, could really win. McElwain, I didn't feel that way about. McElwain looked like a bad fit. He fit badly. I think Taggart, whereas probably a way better guy than McElwain and a way less disingenuous guy than McElwain, probably a good. I'm not saying Jim McElwain's not a good person, but Willie Taggart seems like a really good dude. But he's probably not the right guy here. And so what do? You got to. And what if you lose at home to Syracuse? I think
I'd fire him Sunday.
If you lose at home to Syracuse, he could get fired. I said all along the Louisville and NC State games were critical. If they lost both of those, I said he'd be fired by Clemson. Well, they won both of those. All right, so I backed off that. Now here we go again. If you lose it, if Syracuse beats you in your stadium in front of 38,000 on homecoming, I think he might get fired Sunday. I think he could get fired Sunday if that happens.
And the victory over Louisiana Monroe looks even worse thanks to your team, Gibby.
What about App, Gib?
Yeah. I mean, they should have won. They should have beat Florida State. Louisiana Monroe. What, they missed an extra point, right?
But didn't they play App State really close this weekend?
52-7.
52-7 App put on them.
And we were up to now 21st in the country.
Are you going to go whip South Carolina in Columbia
on
a Saturday afternoon in November?
I would love nothing more than to do that. That would be awesome.
I think App State, if they were to play in Tallahassee right now, I would pick App State to win that game by 17.
I don't know if I'd pick them by 17, but I'd probably be tempted to pick them to win the game.
They have our best quarterback we've ever had. Zach Thomas is really good.
Yeah, obviously App State is like a good Boise team. They're really good. I'll give you, I haven't watched them, but obviously they're at this point they're obviously pretty damn good.
If you guys run the table, you're going to hang a national championship banner?
It'd be awesome, man.
You should.
We got a couple of them in the FCS level.
That does
three in a row.
That does seem to be the thing.
Yeah.
So
43 points per game.
Let's talk some other college football. We'll get to the NFL in a little bit. I want to talk about the Dogs after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Do you know your home's value here in Jacksonville? Whether you're looking to sell your home now or later down the road, it's always good to know that you can by having a competitive offer on your house. Lauren Brooks here for Open Door. Wouldn't you love to skip the hassle of staging your home through all the showings? And get this, with Open Door, there's no risk of the buyer financing falling through. So you can stop worrying and start moving on. I have friends who sold their homes through Open Door, and they raved about how smooth everything went. You can get a free competitive offer within just 24 hours with Open Door. All you have to do, it's so simple. I just log on to Open Door's website, entered in my home details and neighborhood information, and within 24 hours, I had a free competitive offer on my house. The website is so easy to use, and since Open Door buys a home every 34 minutes, yours can be next. Go to opendoor.com/myoffer today. That's opendoor.com/myoffer. Offer eligibility varies.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and right now is the right time to get behind the wheel of the all-new Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. After all, what truck has the most functional bed in its class and up to 20% more cargo volume than the competition? The all-new Chevy Silverado. What truck offers the choice of several different powertrains to help you find the power and efficiency you need? The all-new Chevy Silverado. This Chevy Truck Month, head into your local Chevy dealer and see for yourself that the only truck that compares to a Chevy Silverado is another Chevy Silverado. Now, well-qualified buyers make no payments for 90 days on the all-new 2019 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. See your Southern Chevy dealers. Some customers will not qualify. Down payment required at signing if applicable. Finance charges accrue from date of financing. Not available in PA unless combined with a 0% APR. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/19. See dealer for details.
Jags fans, this one's for you. Enter the TIAA Bank Take the Field sweepstakes for your chance to win 2 club tickets and get pregame sideline access to be on the field when the Jags come out of the tunnel. A new winner will be chosen for each home game. To enter and for official rules, visit TIAABank.com/takethefield. No purchase necessary. Open legal residence in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Void where prohibited. Entry period from 8/5/2019 to 12/18/2019. For official rules and complete details, visit TIAABank.com/takethefield. Sponsor TIAA FSB.
Right now at Ring Power, your local Cat dealer, get 0% for 60 months with zero down on select new Cat compact equipment. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or rent, we've got the right solution to fit your job site needs. Call Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or visit ringpower.com/CCE offer Jacks. That's Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or ringpower.com/CCE offer Jacks. Terms and conditions apply.
The best of XL Primetime Replay is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, helping you be the best when you play.
Be able to come back 10, 20 years from now and talk about the fact that you won the ACC championship or you won the Coastal. I ain't even go national champion. That's a little bit much, all right?
Small goals right
Small
now.
goals
That's
right
a
now.
That's a good speech.
Yeah, I gave
man.
a great speech. So, I left there inspired.
It never ceases to amaze me when people are denied workers' compensation. And to add insult to injury, they're treated as if they're trying to get something for nothing. If you want to be treated with dignity and respect, call Farah & Farah at 396-5555. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hacker here, and I'm inviting you to join me immediately following each Gator game this fall on the 1010XL Facebook page for my instant reaction, presented by Mattress Recliner Fit 123. Home or road, win or lose, whenever Florida plays, I'll be live on the 1010XL Facebook page as soon as the game ends, talking with you.
If I had a nickel for every time my husband asked me to shave his back, I would be one rich lady right now. Although the money would not be coming in anymore because I'm not doing that anymore. He's not worrying about embarrassing unwanted hair anymore. And this is because of Ideal Image Med Spa. By the way, it is Client Appreciation Month at Ideal Image Med Spa. They're celebrating by giving you up to 70% off laser hair removal. Unwanted hair, you know it. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. But that doesn't mean it has to stay. And you know when you look good, you feel good. When you feel your best, you get more out of life. So that's why laser hair removal is such a great thing to do, not just for women. Guys, this is absolutely for you too. Their simple treatments will destroy hair follicles in a matter of minutes. You're going to save time, money, and save yourself and your loved one from a lifetime of shaving. So call now, 904-652-0652. That's 904-652-0652. Located at the Markets at Town Center, US 17, just south of Orange Park on Fleming Island, and St. Augustine in Diane's Marketplace. Medical Director, Dr. Holly Hickman, idealimage.com.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. October is birthday month for Zero Res. I can't believe it's been 15 years since my wife and I started this business. I appreciate so much all the loyal and generous customers. To celebrate our 15th birthday, just call and say, "Happy birthday, Zero Res," and we will give you $15 off any cleaning service that you need. That's $15 off tile, carpet, upholstery, area rugs, and granite countertops. $15 off whatever you need cleaned. It's our birthday gift to you. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
How tough is the new 2019 Crewmax Toyota truck? Well, it's tough enough for Ernie Palmer Toyota and 1010XL to give one away this fall. Fact is, Ernie Palmer Toyota now has your toughest and coolest Tundras, Tacomas, Highlanders, and Sequoias just sitting around waiting for you to drive. So visit Ernie Palmer Toyota today and keep an eye out for the Ernie Palmer Weekly Pick'em Contest this football season on 1010XL.com, where you'll have a chance to win a Crewmax Toyota Tundra, only from Ernie Palmer Toyota.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Georgia starting at the Cats' 39-yard line. This is our best starting field position by 41 yards tonight. 1st and 10 at the Cats' 39. Swift with the ball, swings around, wide right, spins away from a tackler at the 30. Still on his feet, 25-20, near sideline, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, finally! DeAndre Swift, 39 yards to the house.
That broke what had been a 0-0 tie and put Georgia ahead 7-0. They went on to beat Kentucky 21-0. Now here's what happened.
That was a commentator who was ready for some action.
Yeah.
Finally.
Is that Scott Howard, right, Gib? Scott Howard on the Bulldog Radio Network. So Saturday night, my friend Billy, who used to be the bartender at Jerry's, went back home to his, about 4 or 5 years ago, he and his wife Betty went home to their Cincinnati, their hometown, opened up this wonderful sports bar, and we had a big time there. I was there, Mike DeRocco, Gene Fournette, John Ozier, I was there, and a couple drunks that I hang out with. Kerry Hart and Hayes Carline were knocking back shots like they were water. Okay, they called the cops at one point. I told them, no, I can handle them.
Kerry Hart is like the most fun guy on the planet.
He's the greatest guy ever.
I mean, he is so much fun.
He's real. Yeah. Kerry Hart, who owns the Aqua Grill.
I mean, I was having fun before Kerry got there. Right. He was the last of everybody
to
arrive.
Ramped it up.
But then it went to a whole new level.
He was there with his beautiful daughter, Erica. They were taking a dad-daughter trip, and Erica just a couple years out of college and works here in town. And it was a wonderful time. We had a great time. But we're watching the Georgia game in there, and it's
Did you see two DeAndre Swifts?
Yeah, Hayes saw 4 or 5. I mean, I knew
he's shifted.
Yeah, I knew the minute Hayes put his hands up in the air and said touchdown Indiana, something was the matter. Okay, he had too many of those shots. But seriously, we're watching the game and I'm thinking, okay, it's rainy and it's wet and it's soggy and that's affecting the game. It looked like it must have really been raining in Athens. But Georgia's getting shut out midway through the third quarter, and again, their weather did affect that. But I'm wondering, how good is Georgia? This is a team that lost at home to South Carolina. This is a team that was 0-0 with a wounded Kentucky team. And look, Dog fans, I still think Georgia's got a special team and a special coach. I've told you that all along. I haven't all of a sudden decided Georgia's no good. But if I'm going to be as hard on my alma mater as I've been and be as hard on FSU as I've been, I want to be fair about Georgia too. Were they overrated? Are they not as good as we thought? Is this just a little glitch and they will bounce back and roll Florida and win at Auburn? Where are you on Georgia right now?
Yeah, I think I'm giving them a pass on Saturday because of the conditions. Like, I don't know how often Jake Fromm is going to throw for 35 yards or whatever it was.
Right.
35.
But I do think there's just a general lack of playmaking. And, and again, I think Jake Fromm is a really talented player. So for Georgia to have played 7 games and for him to have 9 touchdown passes, like, to me, that doesn't dazzle you at all when you see certainly what LSU's doing. But even again, Florida has a backup quarterback that didn't start until game 4, and he's thrown 14 touchdowns. And none of those have really been garbage touchdowns. They've all been in the course of a flow of a game. And so that's the concern that I think I would have going into the cocktail party is I think Georgia can grind on any run defense. I think DeAndre Swift is an excellent player. He's averaging 6.8 yards a carry. They've got great depth at that spot. So Georgia may come into Jacksonville and run right over Florida. And Florida surrendered 217 yards on the ground to South Carolina, and that was with their best running back basically missing the entire game. So Georgia, I think, is still the path that Georgia takes to win. I still think they execute very well, but I do wonder about if they have to be explosive. Can they really be explosive? Do they have receivers that they can really count on? Pickens has played really well, but that's what I think the concern is. And I do also wonder, do they have the pass rush? Like, are they going to be able to affect Kyle Trask enough? And maybe they will, but Florida is showing you that if you can't pressure him, he's not going to he's not just going to put it up. I mean, he usually is going to make the right decision. He's normally going to be accurate. I mean, I have no idea what the weather will be like here, but assuming it's a nice day in Jacksonville in a couple weeks, I think that's the concern if I'm Georgia, because this is your season. If you lose to Florida, this season is an epic disaster. Whereas I don't think Florida feels that way. Florida wants to win the game, obviously, but Florida isn't really at that place yet as a program under Dan Mullen where the sky is falling if they lose to Georgia. It'll be incredibly disappointing. But I think for Georgia, I think it's going to be hard to get out of bed for 3 days if they lose to Florida, because then you worry about, okay, is this the next Spurrier? Is this the next Urban?
And did you miss the window?
Right.
If you're Georgia waited a long time for that window to open, man. There was times in the early 2000s it looked like it was opening under Mark Richt. There was times 07, 08, there was a stretch. 11 or 12, there was a stretch. And you never really took the next step. And then these last 2 or 3 years, you truly have. You've had one of the best teams in the country the last 2 or 3 years. As you said many times, Hayes, probably should have beaten Alabama both of those games, dominated them. Yet you have nothing to show for it, really. So now all of a sudden, do you look up again and you miss the window? And does Georgia Nation feel that, and does that affect the game?
And does Justin Fields potentially in his time in college football win a national championship? And I'm not saying you were ever going to pick Fields over Fromm, but if he does, you are just incensed because he was on your roster.
Yeah, and you know what? And let me say this. Kirby Smart did nothing wrong there.
Nothing.
Jake Fromm earned that job. He earned that job over Eason. He earned that job over Fields. He should not have been benched for Justin Fields. I will back Kirby Smart 600% on the decision, the way he went about that decision.
But it doesn't hurt any less.
But it doesn't hurt any less. Lauren, that's a great point. What if Fields is lifting the trophy in early January and Georgia has 2 or 3 losses and just won the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would sting. I didn't even thought about that till you said it.
I'll tell you this. You said last week that you'd have Ohio State 1, and I was sort of taken aback by that. Yeah. I got a chance to watch them Friday night against Northwestern, and it's not a good Northwestern team, but that is still, I think, one of the best coached teams. I mean, it was like watching a really good state championship kind of team play a freshman squad.
Ohio State's really good.
I mean,
it looked like varsity versus JV.
I mean, Fields was incredible. The running game was incredible, but Fields was particularly impressive.
We'll know this week because Wisconsin clearly looked ahead to that game and had the biggest loss they've had in 20 years by losing at Illinois. Sorry, Illinois fans, but that was a dagger because now Wisconsin's out.
Right.
Now, even if Wisconsin runs the table and beats Ohio State twice, I'm not sure they're in.
No.
Because of the loss to Illinois. So that was a dagger, twisted, bloody dagger for Wisconsin. Yeah.
The one thing Georgia fans, I think, can focus on that's a positive thing from the 21-0 defeat over Kentucky, focus a little bit less on the 21 points and the 35 yards from Fromm and more on the 0 points for Kentucky. Right. Georgia has the best defense in the SEC if you go by a bunch of the stats. So that's the one thing that I would look at and say, you know what, they're going to be ready to play the Gators.
Yeah, Georgia's good. If Georgia's not sitting around saying, "Oh, we're no good anymore. We're going to lose to Florida Auburn." No, Georgia's got a good football team.
No, but fans were booing.
But I just wonder if they were a hair overrated or they hit a glitch and now they're ticked off and they're going to play lights out. We'll see. We'll talk more about that game in the weeks to come. We'll take a break. Let's get it to a National Football League thought or two. Who's up, who's down in the league? Stay with us.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL is your hometown team.
Man that needs no introduction, Coach Martin of Providence.
That's why this year's basketball is going to be so good, so competitive.
Coach Frazier of the Paxton Eagles.
Our city is just as good as any other city in the state of Florida.
A future UCF Golden Knight.
Our whole goal since we lost in the Final Four is to get back and, this year, win it all.
And we have Coach George McLeod of Mandarin.
The expectation is to repeat district championship and go a little further.
Tyrese Saunders of First Coast, a wide receiver, and on the First Coast basketball team.
And I just love basketball, and I ain't going to have no regrets of not playing.
Thanks to CSI Companies and Airstream Ventures for organizing Basketball High School Media Day.
1010XL.
Hey, if you want a great insurance agent, let me recommend State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. You call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good insurance agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, no matter what it is you need, Craig will help you with it. He'll take a look at your policy. Are you spending the right amount of money? Are you getting the proper amount of coverage? Does it fit you, your life, your coverage needs, your salary? Craig will make it work, and then he'll be there when something happens. You want a great insurance agent? How about the best guy in town? Call Craig Dewhurst at State Farm today at 940-9740.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 towards the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. At the markets at Town Center. Official jeweler of the Jaguars.
Wow, your new Liberty gun safe looks incredible. No way a criminal's getting into that. Where'd you get it?
Easy. I went to Liberty Safes of North Florida, where they have 12 months interest-free financing.
Oh yeah, right there on Blanding. You know, now that we have kids, I probably should have my stuff locked up more securely.
Definitely. Plus, I've got our jewelry, titles, contracts, and photo albums stored safely from fire and criminals.
For expert service and easy financing, visit Liberty Safes of North Florida, a division of Noel's Lock and Safe.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
This is your boy at Big Game James 36. Join me and Denny Thompson on 1010XL's Facebook page immediately following every game this season for our instant reaction. Whether Duval wins or loses on Sunday, we'll be live on 1010XL's Facebook page the minute it's over talking to you, thanks to Mr. Chubby's Wings and the Lemon Peppers.
I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, Lee, do I have to take the breath test? Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett. The decision is yours and you should know your options. If you agree to blow and you blow over the limit, your license will be suspended even without being convicted of the DUI. They won't tell you that. If you blow a .15 or above, you'll be subject to harsher penalties. They won't tell you that either. Now you know. Know before you blow. Call Lockett Law for a free case analysis. 858-9818. Office is Jacksonville. Know before you blow.
Now your local Hyundai dealers present the Offensive Player of the Game.
Running back Leonard Fournette ran circles around the opposition in the Buckeye State. He'd finished the contest with 145 total yards. 131 of those yards would come out of the backfield in what was an impressive performance on his part. This is Fournette's third game this season with over 100 rushing yards, and he's your North Florida Hyundai dealer's Offensive Player of the Game.
Team, if we strive to make things better like Hyundai, we will have success. If we commit to being the best like Hyundai, we will have...
Are the snacks after the game, Coach?
Molly's mom brought snacks.
Yeah!
Success!
Right now, get a new Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe with 0% APR financing for 72 months. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end 10/31/19. Call 877-616-8513 for complete feature and offer details.
Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, reminding you that everybody loves a classic. And all month long, you can pick up a fresh, never frozen classic Cuban for just $3.99 from Dandy. That's right, folks. $3.99 gets you a deliciously unique sub that boasts piles of cooked ham, salami, roast pork, and creamy Swiss cheese. Add a little mustard and pickles, authentic Cuban bread, and you have yourself a classic. So why don't you go out and make yours a classic Cuban from Dandy, and do it today.
Okay, here we go with our final lightning round on Potty Talk. Top 3 answers on the board. Ready? Okay. The best way to save money when your faucets or pipes are leaking.
Roland Reese Plumbing?
Something to help you avoid clogged sewers and drains.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
The technical term for that ba-whoosh sound when a toilet flushes correctly.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Roland Reese Plumbing is always the right answer. Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. I've told you for the longest time, if you need a new pool, it's Stanley Pools. Call them at 269-7277. New pools, remodeled pools, pavers, fire pits, They do it all, and they do an outstanding job. And they have done it in this town since 1988. It is a true family business, and they truly are the best in the business. I trust Stanley Pools. Call them today, 269-7277 for the best in the business, Stanley Pools.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It started when it was a front office change in Jacksonville, and some guys were put in positions of power who, like I kind of just talked about, didn't care to understand. I guess you could say even this generation of guys, or even us as players, or us as people in general.
Those are the comments to Ryan Clark, I think it was, on ESPN from Jalen Ramsey's long interview. Did you guys all see it? See the interview?
Mm-hmm.
You see the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
You watched the whole thing?
I don't know that I saw the whole thing. We were watching it in the I think I saw enough to know that I was wasting my time.
Yeah, I mean, that is so true. What in the world does this clown think? You know what? Didn't understand millennial. What? He didn't say millennial. He said generation. This generation? What? Here's the best let me give you the facts as I see it. The facts that we know. We know Tom Coughlin stood up at the State of the Jaguars and said all of our players should be here at the voluntary workouts. That drew ire from everybody. Okay? I don't know of any other comment that I heard about that except Tom said that. Tom later said that was my opinion. It's still my opinion. I think our players should all be there. Well, the truth is voluntary should mean voluntary, and they shouldn't all necessarily be there if they don't want to be there. But it was a guy giving his opinion. That's a fact we know. The second fact we know is, that's one fact. The second fact we know is that Jalen says, his words, that somebody disrespected him in a meeting after the Houston game where there were 4 people in there. We don't know who, because he wouldn't tell us who. We can make all the inferences we want, but we don't know who. We don't know what was said. We don't know what the words were. Jalen's asking us to take his word that somebody said something disrespectful to him. He won't say what was said. He won't say who said it. So this is a football player accusing a professional football team's front office of disrespecting him, but won't say who, won't say what he said. We have no evidence of who or what. We just have come to believe him. Some people have. And he said, for that reason, I asked to be traded. Then clearly, and I would not have said this till I was sure, or till I was sure I believed it, because I guess we don't have facts for this either, clearly faked an injury. Because it's too big of a coincidence at this point that a guy who's never missed a snap in his career now suddenly misses 3 games with a back after asking to be traded, and then the minute he gets traded, plays fully healthy, isn't even on the injury list on Friday. Follow the evidence, right, Lauren? That's what I always say.
That's
well,
right.
Clearly the evidence is he lied. The evidence clearly is that he faked the injury. Deion Sanders had him on the little NFL Network thing, and he laughed about how Mr. Miyagi and Hughes. So he's laughing about the fact that he lied and got away with it.
And I think he also lied to Shad Khan. I think that's why Shad in that Wall Street interview with the Street said,
he was gonna play.
I expect him to play.
Yeah, so clearly the guy faked an injury to not have to play and to force the team to trade him, and the team traded him. And again, I wasn't going to rip Jalen. I wasn't going to take a side. And I'm still not taking one person's side of it, but I will take the Jacksonville Jaguars side, okay? I live in this town. I'm born and raised in this town. I'm the play-by-play voice of the team. To use John Ozier's words, it's reprehensible. It's reprehensible to fake an injury while your teammates are out there. I can tell you there's players on that team that are still pissed. I will tell you that. Because they were going out there risking body and limb and to support their families and to represent this team and to wear that logo when he made up a reason not to have to go do it. That is as bad. You can talk about Blaine Gabbert ducking when the rush came. You can talk about Justin Blackmon having an addiction problem and not wanting to play football anymore. You can talk about R.J. Soward showing up at meetings late. You can talk about all these guys. You can talk about Andre Rison causing a shouting match in the locker room and causing a divisive locker room. Forget all those. Is there anything more reprehensible to your teammates than making up an injury so you don't have to go to war while they do? Can you top that? Can you top it?
No, I cannot.
In the 25 years they've had a team here. Okay, and I have slow played that. I have not said that. I've said I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, and I've said that consistently. But at some point, while those guys are going out there throwing their bodies into 300-pound men who are running 100 miles an hour and getting collided on and crashed into, his teammates, who he said he would support from day one, while he was playing for that team, made up an injury so he would still get paid. I would have respected him more if he'd have held out and said, I don't want to be on this team anymore, so I'm going to hold out till you trade me and dock my pay if you have to, because that would have been more honest. That's my thoughts on Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, he basically stole over $500,000 from Shad Khan. I mean, there's no other way around it. I mean, he clearly – Jalen is been on record saying before, look, I don't want to put bad film out there. If you have a back injury, you do not go up against Julio Jones on 2 days of practice. You don't do it. You wouldn't put yourself in that position. And he did fine. I mean, he clearly wasn't affected by the back. And whether he initially felt something, at what point it became a lie is irrelevant. It became a lie. Whether it was a lie, immediately after the Titans game or whether it became a lie in weeks 2 or 3, he lied about it. And, I mean, what is so disappointing about that is that the locker room is filled with guys that are going to get cut this week. They're going to get put on the practice squad. They're going to get promoted. They're going to get cut again. They're going to go to the next team. They're going to be put on that team's practice squad. Maybe they get promoted. Then they're going to get cut. There are guys in this league littered that have been cut 5, 6 times, sometimes more. I remember Jacques McClendon in 2013, the first year I was here covering the Jaguars. He was an offensive guard out of Tennessee. They cut him every week for 7 straight weeks. He got cut. And then, for whatever reason, they brought him back almost the next, whether it was injury or whatever. I think about a guy like Perry Nickerson, who got cut today, second-year cornerback, but he gets cut. Just got here last week, but he gets cut because there's injuries at linebacker, and so they promote Joe Giles Harris off the practice squad to the active roster. Now, Perry Nickerson will probably get signed to the practice squad tomorrow. They released quarterback Chase Litton off the practice squad, so that's probably the opening that Nickerson will get, would be my guess. But it's just there's just so many stories like that. And to have that sort of arrogance of I'm above that, and I mean, again, this all started because he was upset they didn't challenge a 3-yard catch in the first quarter of a game.
Right. He comes out and says, that shows they didn't trust me. You don't make strategic decisions when your team only has 2 challenges it can make throughout the – that's got to be how dare you think – how arrogant to think you should decide that for your football team. How arrogant.
I think a request to be traded was coming at some point this season, and I'm not sure exactly that it was ever calculated like that in his mind, but I think he's been unhappy, and finally the straw broke the camel's back in that particular instance because he lost his mind, and he knew he wasn't going to apologize, and he, at that point, asked to be traded.
Jalen Ramsey, for the rest of his career, will be the guy that faked an injury to get a team to trade him. He'll be the guy. One other thought. We got to go to break. We're late. One other thought on this. Mike Florio wrote something that I don't know that I agree with, but it made me feel better. He said 2 1s and a 4, you would trade almost every player in the league for that. He said there's a handful of players you wouldn't. Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Drew Brees, Aaron Donald, 4 or 5 other guys I'm missing, right? If that many. Did you read this post? Mm-hmm. He said, but 2 1s and a 4 is a haul for virtually any player in the league beyond Rodgers and Brady and Brees and Donald.
We'll take all the quarterbacks out.
Yeah.
Because that's a totally different.
Yeah, but his point is don't take all the quarterbacks out. Agree or disagree, his point was you take about 4 or 5 quarterbacks out. And you take Aaron Donald out, and there's probably 1 or 2. Other than that, you would trade anybody in the league for 2 1s and a 4. Do you agree with that?
I think when it comes to quarterbacks, there's more than that. I think there might be 10 that you would do that for. But
you're right. I wouldn't trade Russell Wilson for 2 ones.
Yeah, but if you're looking at if you're looking at everybody outside of quarterbacks, there's like maybe 5 guys, and he is one of the 5. And the Rams are going to regret this trade. I mean, you can put this in whatever time capsule vault you want and replay it till your heart's content if I'm wrong. But the Los Angeles Rams are going to wish they had not made this trade. I will be surprised if he lasts 20 games there.
Let's talk a little hardball. World Series is set. Gibby, we'll get to it after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, folks, head to Nimnik right now because they are moving cars left and right. Those 2019 models, a lot of them are gone. Here's the good news. A lot of them are still there. Those 2020s are coming in left and right. The largest savings of the year going on, continues to go on at Nimnik. This is at Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. 23% off 2019 GMC Sierra SLT Crew Cab trucks. 23% off 2019 Buick Encore SUVs. You know how this thing works. The 20s come in, the 19s got to go. And you're going to love the selection. You're going to love the beautiful car dealership, how clean it is. The hot food in the cafe there. It's a wonderful setup. Head to Nimnik Buick GMC today with those great prices on those 2019s available to you right now. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
The Ernie Palmer Toyota 1010XL Weekly Pick'em Game offers 16 weekly winners a chance to compete against each other in the regular season finale with a 2019 Crew Max Toyota Tundra on the line. Are you Jacksonville's smartest fan? Enter and find official game rules at 1010XL.com.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how they maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. Now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes with a Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment by December 31st.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
At Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road in Jacksonville, and now also in McClenny.
Is your AC unit making spooky noises? Maybe you got some creepy stuff in your vents. It's Rick Ballou and my friends at McGowan's will get rid of your AC gremlins with their fall service deals. It's no trick. They'll inspect your system and make honest recommendations so your whole family gets a treat this year. From the Georgia border to Palm Coast, folks trust McGowan's AC. Call 264-COOL or visit McGowan'sAC.com, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
License number CMC 1250075.
Here's a quick tip from your fast file bankruptcy expert, Don Dufresne with the law offices of Parker & Dufresne. 43% of American families spend more than they earn every year. It's simple yet powerful advice. Live within your means. Saving now gives you important financial freedom later in life. A good rule of thumb is to save 20% of your monthly salary. Need more quick tips? Visit jackslawcenter.com. Relief, restore, renew. Parker & Dufresne. Offices, Jacksonville.
Dan Hicken, mornings on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
When you need same-day care but don't need the ER, CareSpot Urgent Care has 14 Jacksonville area locations. Open extended hours 7 days a week. $29 flu shots now available as well as flu tests. CareSpot is proudly affiliated with Baptist Health.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Your local Cat dealer, Ring Power, has the equipment you need when you need it, daily, weekly, or monthly. Call Ring Power at 904-295-1062 or visit catrentalstore.com.
Listen up, Jacksonville. Beaver Chevrolet is expanding and looking for the best of the best to join our family. Maintain your work-life balance, enjoy a positive atmosphere, and earn industry-leading pay. Our WOW opening of the month is for experienced mechanics. How about a $10,000 signing bonus? That's right, experienced technicians can take advantage of a $10,000 signing bonus. If you're ready to join the team, call General Manager Brett Morgan at 904-245-1422 or just stop by Beaver Chevrolet.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Who's your World Series? Who beats who?
Astros, Nationals. Yes, the Nationals make the World Series without Bryce Harper.
Did you just play you? That's awesome. That was tremendous.
That was
Gibby played Gibby.
I had to.
That was fun. That might have been your best moment ever. Okay.
That was from March 27th this
How
year.
about Gibby calling it? That
That's
was
awesome.
fantastic, Gib.
Wait, so our
Gibby
audio is
played
only
Gibby.
available for 1 week, right? To be able to go back and get it?
I save all the shows here.
Oh, you save them all so you
Yeah.
could always go back. I was going to say, did you have even the extra clairvoyance back then to save it in case you were right in October?
Yeah, I've done that. You can go back and just get as long as you knew the date, you can always go back and get the
Yeah,
date.
I knew the date because it was the day before opening day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, let's see who I picked. Oh, I did.
That's a
pick
pretty
that.
good. So that was a pretty good pick, Gib, because I can tell you when I used to do College Football Live and the Bubba Burger Blitz with Terry Norvell and Brady Ackerman, we would produce the show, we'd write the show. Terry would notorious for go, hey, go back to that show 5 weeks ago when I said Tennessee would beat Alabama. I said, Terry, can't we just say you said it? Okay. But Gibby, this was better. This was quite the prediction. Good job, Gib.
Seriously good prediction.
You got it. And I mean, it's easy to pick the Astros. I thought the Astros would have a good year, but I just had a feeling on the Nationals that pitching rotation and the young players that they have, and that feeling turned out to be right.
You were dead on, and you were exactly right. Well, let me tell you what I've gleaned from this, Gib. You can have home runs galore, 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 galore. I'm gonna say four words to you, okay, Gib?
Yep.
Scherzer, Strasburg, Cole, Verlander. That's how you get to the World Series.
That says it, doesn't it?
We all thought it was a home run derby and slow pitch softball, but it's not an accident. It's not relief pitching. It's not home runs. Lord knows it's not bunting and running. If you have starting pitchers who can heat up the microwave, that's how you get there. We've learned. It's starting pitching, isn't it?
It is, and I'll say one more thing. Going back to the Astros in the ALCS against the Yankees, I texted Jose Altuve and said, "You're going to the Hall of Fame," and then he just goes on a tear.
Yeah.
And what an incredible clutch home run that was for Jose Altuve to hit that against the Yankees and send him to the World Series.
I mean, this is the best team probably in baseball against the hottest team in baseball.
That's right.
Right?
Is this a World Series for the ages?
You know, I don't know. Boy, if the logos were more recognizable, it would be because of the characters. We'll see. Going into it, no. If it's 7 games and George Springer hits a bottom of the 11th walk-off in Game 11, in Game 7, yeah, then it is.
Yeah, I think in addition to starting pitching, wouldn't you say the other thing these two teams have is the clutch guys? Like, they know when it's the biggest stage, the most pressure, they know exactly what to do and they get it done.
They have. You're right. You got to have timely hitting. Yeah, no matter how much pitching you have to have timely hitting. And these are the timely. I don't know necessarily that these guys have guys that throughout their careers are more timely hitters than all the other guys, some of them, certainly the Astros guys. I don't know that Anthony Rendon has always been that Ryan Zimmerman has always been that, but he is that now. They certainly are that now. But what I do know is that Cole, Verlander, Scherzer, and Strasburg could all wind up in Cooperstown. I mean, they got work to do, but they all have $1 million arms. And you know what else it's not, Gibby? The days of Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine throwing 89 and 91, that day's over too, and winning. These guys all bring the heat, boy.
They throw it hard. And to that point about the pitching in this World Series, it's the first World Series since 1945 to have 6 of the top 20 qualified pitchers in ERA.
How about that?
6 of the top 20 best ERAs in baseball. First time since 1945 in the World Series.
I can tell you this. This one's worth watching, man. This one is worth watching. The Yankees-Astros game the other night, when the Yankees get 2 in the ninth, and then the Astros hit the walk-off in the bottom. How good was that? I mean, how good was the drama of the game? I've got too much going on. I got the FSU game on the computer, and I've got the Tennessee-Alabama because Tua's hurt, and Tennessee's grabbing the guy's face smack. I got too much stuff. I needed more iPads in there, but what a game that'll be. It'll be fun watching the World Series when it gets
Wait, so Gibby, who wins?
I had the Astros in March, so I'm going to stay with the Astros.
All right.
How many games?
Call.
I'll say 6.
Yeah, cool. I also need you to write down 6 numbers, 1 through 40 for me.
You got it.
You know what? You know what? I'll go Astros 7 just because you said 6, but Astros 6 is about right. Who do you like?
I like the Astros.
You too?
I will take the Astros, and you went with 5.
I went with 7 only because he went with 6.
I'll go with 6.
Okay, so there you go.
And we could all be wrong, by the way. The Nationals have won 6 in a row.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm going to root for the Astros. I don't want to see the Nats win. I'm a Braves fan.
Who are you rooting for?
Astros,
Who are you
because
rooting for?
they beat the Rays.
Yeah, I'm always rooting for the National League team.
So I can say my team was beaten by the World Series
I hear
team.
you. I like that too, but I'm always rooting for the National League team. I think it's a better league. I think they're better people. They come from better stock. When we come back, we'll get it back to the football hour. I want to talk some Jaguars football. Let's get into the quarterback dilemma. Is it a dilemma? Or is it a wonderful situation? We'll discuss it after this.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Offense scores points.
He's looking. He is firing.
Find out who scores the offensive player of the game.
And it is good. Touchdown!
Listen for your local Hyundai dealer's offensive player of the game on 1010XL. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Don't miss the fourth quarter year-end sales drive going on now at Jack Hanania's Hyundai of Orange Park. Get in the game and save with giant fourth quarter discounts on hundreds of new Hyundais, like the 2019 Santa Fe SEL. For a limited time, score big with up to $5,000 off MSRP. Get 0% interest for up to 72 months, or make no payments until next year. That's right, $5,000 off, 0%, or make no payments until next year. And they're all backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty and 1-year complimentary maintenance. In addition to Hyundai Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Want another reason to visit? Now through the end of the month, get a free oil change with a test drive of any new Hyundai. So rush to the fourth quarter year-end sales drive. Going on now at Jack Hanania's Hyundai of Orange Park on Blanding Boulevard or online at HyundaiofOrangePark.com. Offers cannot be combined with approved credit on select vehicles. See dealer for details.
Instant Keys offers honest professional locksmith service for lost, broken, or spare keys. Call Instant Keys at 722-1111. Get dealer-level service in just minutes at a fraction of the cost. 722-1111.
At Farrah & Farrah, everybody has a team working on their case.
When you hire one attorney at Farrah & Farrah, you're really hiring 60.
We make ourselves very accessible. They've hired us to do a job,
To help take away some of those burdens.
and that job doesn't always end at 5 o'clock. We take their problems and we make them ours.
Because they need help.
When you're in for the legal fight of your life, you want a team that has that kind of commitment and stability.
We will be there.
We're here for you. That's what I'm here to do, is help.
Farrah & Farrah, here for you, here for good, Jacksonville.
1010XL and Beaver Chevrolet want to treat your office to a free lunch. This is Joe C. Me and Bucky from Beaver Chevy will bring Zaxby's to your workplace, and it's all on us. Just log on to 1010XL.com, click on the Wow You Lunch link, and sign up.
At Diamond Strict, I feel like I got value. I feel like I got the better price.
That's Eric Utley, another unpaid, unrehearsed, unscripted, raving fan of Diamonds Direct.
It's a competitive price size, but the quality stands above and beyond the competitors that we looked at and researched